As Barcelona fans, you want to win La Liga, and to be honest, I also want to win La Liga. You want to win the Copa del Rey, I want to win the Copa del Rey, you want to win the Champions League, I do not want to win the Champions League. Wait, what? He does not want to win the Champions League? Hell no, he's not a Barcelona fan. What's going on, guys? ¿Cómo están? BugaLuis PRIME, welcome back to another video here on the channel. Just like always, this is your #1 place for Barcelona news without any kind of bullcrap bias like we see on ESPN FC or other news sites like that. So please remember that if you enjoyed this video, click the subscribe button down below so you don't miss anything on the content that we upload here on this channel. Today we're going to talk about my Barcelona objectives for the 2018-2019 season. This is going to be basically kind of a preview, and I'm going to talk about all the three major competitions like Copa del Rey, La Liga and the Champions League, and what Barcelona could do or should do to try and win these competitions, and whether I feel if they win it, they lose it, they reach a certain round or whatever, it's a successful season or not. So if you enjoy this, once again, like the video, and if you don't, dislike it. So we're gonna start off right away by talking about La Copa del Rey. I think that La Copa del Rey is like a just given sense that we need to try and win this competition no matter what. For the past 5 seasons or 4 seasons, I think Barcelona have won every single instance of the Copa del Rey. We've reached the final, we get the job done, and there's absolutely no reason for us to try and do differently this season. I think that with this squad, with better substitute players like Malcolm, like Arthur, I think we're gonna get the job done easily in those earlier matches against teams, for instance, like a Levante, like a second division team, or maybe even like a Celta de Vigo, like we saw last season, where our substitute play against Celta de Vigo, a team which we always struggle to, and they managed to get the win and even draw at Balaídos. So I think that's a very good thing. We see that our substitutes are getting more protagonism in this competition, and I feel that this season could also be something very similar to that. So I think that La Copa del Rey, it must be a win no matter what, and anything less won't be successful in La Copa del Rey. But once again, La Copa del Rey, to be honest with you, it's not like the most important competition. So if we lose it but we win La Liga and we win the Champions League, I don't think it's going to be the end of the world. But as a Barcelona fan, we need to win La Copa del Rey. This is like our home turf and we need to defend that. In the case of La Liga, it's a very different kind of competition. We know it's 38 matches against every single team in Spain, and we need to battle it out for 3 points every single match. So it's very important, I think. And something that I feel Valverde did very good last season was start La Liga very strong. He gave protagonism to La Liga. He decided to play very hard in La Liga at the start. He decided to get every single win, and I think that actually that transmitted in Barcelona, having that unbeaten run for the rest of the season. Obviously, I would say that something successful will be to win this league unbeaten, but that's almost impossible. It only happens certain times, and I think that if we want to perhaps not win La Liga unbeatable but have a similar result like we did last year, which is obviously winning it, we must start very strong in La Liga. People may say, oh, but this may get players exhausted and stuff like that. I will talk about that more in the Champions League kind of term, but I think that La Liga, we need to try and win every single match. And from now on into December, every match in La Liga is like a final, and we really need to win that because we need to win the Champions League. And I'm going to explain once again how that ties up. In the Champions League group stages, for instance, during those periods, we didn't lose against Juventus, we draw against them, we draw against Sporting Lisbon, we won against Olympiacos, we draw against Olympiacos, I think, as well. So we see that we perhaps let go a little bit in the Champions League kind of sense, and unless you get a group like Real Madrid got last year, which was Real Madrid, Dortmund and Spurs and another team, I don't remember which one it is, that is like an exception, you know. But if you get a normal group like a Champions League, which is always like Barcelona, Manchester United, Olympiacos, and something like a Leia Varsovia, I think we can let some players rest for some matches. So I think that with the Champions League group, we must watch out, but we still must also give the main priority to La Liga during those months between right now in August and all the way to December. So now we're gonna talk about the Champions League. And first of all, I gotta say that in that intro of that video, it's obviously fun. Like, I made fun of the people who like speak, for instance, if I say I do not want to win the Champions, or what no. I like, if I do my analysis and stuff like that, people are gonna say, oh, he's not a Barcelona fan, he doesn't win the Champions League. But I'm just like a little bit more analytical. It's not that I don't want to win the Champions League. I obviously want to win the Champions League. Everybody wants to win the Champions League. But we need to be like a little more thoughtful how we should approach this. Unless you have a consistent like run and a consistent team like Real Madrid had, for instance, the last 3 years, and then the year after that where Barcelona won it, and the year before that they also won it. They've been very, very consistent, and unless we have that or we have like a stellar season like a Salah who scores goals left, right and center, we are not going to win the Champions League. So we have to watch out for this. I feel that the reason why I spoke in La Liga section and I said that we needed to go hard there is so that we can have our players rotate during December, January time, and then reach those semi-final spots very, very fresh, reach the quarterfinals fresh, reach the round of 16 fresh. We shouldn't play those players the match before it. We've always reached those like parts of the season, like the low point. The low point is always there. The last 3 seasons, the low point of our season. Every team has a low point. Every team has a low point during the entire season, and our low points are obviously when we reach the quarterfinals of the Champions League. That's our low point. Our low point is always during that situation. We take a look, for instance, the time we got knocked out by Atletico Madrid. Our low point was during that time. I could just feel the team wasn't as confident as we could achieve that during those times. I was in school at that moment still, and I was like walking back home, and I was watching the game through like through a TV on like the supermarket. You know that on the supermarket they sell TVs and they put the game on just to like sell and promote the TV. I was watching that match there, and it was just like so sad, you know, because like we were like 1-1 against Atletico Madrid. We were wearing like our home shirt, our yellow shirts, their blue shirts. I remember exactly what happened. And that's our low point. I really felt, I talked to my friends saying like, I don't feel as confident we can do this time around. Against Juventus, the same. We may have won against PSG 6-1, but then we reach the next stage and we're like really, really low. And that's bad. And then we reach, for instance, against Roma. That's just like a fuck up, but it's still in the quarterfinals. So you could see that our low point is always during those times. It's always during those quarterfinal rounds. And to try and avoid a low point, you need to try and make the low point happen before time. So I think that the low point for Barcelona, we should like overestimate it and try to make it happen between like December and January time, where we're rotating those players. And if we make that happen, I feel that we're gonna start fresh once again in the knockout rounds, and we're gonna do that incredibly well. So our low point, for instance, in the last time we won the Champions League was during those times, during January and before December, before like November, October, those times where we lost at Real Sociedad, where we had the problems between Messi and Luis Enrique. It was that during those times, and then we just start fresh, and the whole team was motivated, and we won everything. That's what we need to do. Our low point needs to come before the quarterfinals. We need to try and think that, and we need to try and make the problems happen. It's obviously impossible to make a problem out of nothing, but I think we should just rotate the players and start getting our players like Suarez, Messi, Dembele, Coutinho, all the very big important guys fresh for the start of this new season. So not new season, for the start of this new year, and then reach the quarterfinals, the knockout stages, all good. So I feel that for Barcelona, if we reach the semi-finals, it would be good for me. Anything less than the semi-finals this season is a failure in the Champions League. But if we reach the semi-finals, I think I'm fine. Like, I'm content. Like, I'm not gonna be super happy, but it's gonna be like good enough for me, because we've reached the semi-finals, something that we haven't done in the last 3 years. So that's progress. I really like progress. And then the semi-finals depends on how we go out. If we go out in the style of someone like Roma, then it's like bullshit, you know. If we go out like against Atletico Madrid, the last Champions League, where we lost 2-1, that's fine, because Atletico Madrid were superior, so that's completely fine. Like, they won fairly, fair and square. I feel that that's a good way to go out. So it's gonna be all dependent on that. It's gonna be all dependent on how we go out in the semi-finals, where it's a failure or not. If we go out like Roma, it's gonna be a failure. If we go out like a team who gave it all, then it's gonna be fine, I feel. And obviously the semi-final, when you win it, you wanna go to the final, and then obviously the final, the objective is to win the final no matter what. Like, I'm not the guy who feels that going to the final and reaching the final is already a success. No. Like, if you're gonna go to the final, you're gonna go to win it. You understand? That's how my way of seeing it. So guys, just to wrap up this video, I want to hear what you guys have to say in the comment box down below. Once again, I make you remember that my objective for Barcelona are win La Copa del Rey, win La Liga, or then reach the semi-final of the Champions League. That's gonna be like the lowest bottom in the Champions League, and then either win in style, go out in fashion, and obviously do not be bullcrap and do not like lose like we lost against Roma. That's how I feel Barcelona can have a successful season. We have to be proud of ourselves at the end. Last year, I didn't feel that I didn't feel that, because we went against Roma in a fashion so bad. We went completely like pathetic fools, you know. So we need to forget about that and move on. So it all depends on how we go out in the Champions League this season. Just like always, guys, if you love these Barcelona videos and stuff like that, leave us a like, and always remember to subscribe, because it's your #1 place for Barcelona news here in YouTube. So see you in the next one. Take care.